Here's a video on the update on how my front yard gourds are doing. These are extra long-handled gourds. You can see kind of the ball shape down on the bottom, here and here. Each of those is, maybe that one's about the size of a softball. This one over here is certainly bigger than a softball. And the stretch of it going up, the whole thing is about 6 feet tall. I'll show you that in a moment. If I stand back just a bit here, just to give you a sense of perspective, the tree here, which has the gourds planted down at the base and the vines crawl on up. If you look at how these trees are really scrappy, there's very few leaves on them except beautiful lush green growth up at the top, which is the vines of the gourd, which have grown all the way up. That's got to be a good 40-50 feet tall to the top of these trees, and once the vines reached up on the canopy, they really just are doing wonderfully up there. Similarly, out here is another one of these scrappy kind of crabapple trees that look terrible except for 1 week out of the year when the pink blossoms bloom in April. But these are town trees planted out by the curb. But you can see here where there's a nice lush green canopy up at the top. Again, that's where some gourds have grown up on that one as well. And on this one, you can see that up there also. And look at that right there where I have my fingers indicating. That is about, for perspective, because I measured this out, that's 6 feet tall from the top of that gourd to that long handle and down to the bottom. And and there is another one up in there, which is really far up. You probably can't even see it that well through the branches and such. So these are going to be fantastic because I only had a couple of seeds that I had purchased. I'll show you how I measured the height of it here. You see where that string is right there on this bamboo pole. I have this I marked that. That's 6 feet from the tip of the bamboo pole. And when I put the tip of that up right at the top of the gourd, sure enough, the little string there at the 6 foot mark is just at about the bottom of the gourd here. So that's 6 feet tall for that gourd, which I think is pretty darn amazing. The other one is probably about 5 feet tall or so. And you can see them here, just dangling, from the tree when the breeze comes along. They sort of rock gently back and forth like that. I'm letting them mature on the vine for right now, which is really what they say you're supposed to do with gourds in order to get the best results out of them and let the shell get hard, while the frost comes in and all of that. It certainly is possible that one or two of them, or all of them, who knows, may end up falling down and cracking, in which case I won't sort of have the gourds for decorating purposes, but either way I'm keeping an eye out for that, and I will collect the seeds. I only had about a dozen seeds that I planted down at the base here, and the vine is still heading on up from each side. I put a couple of rocks down at the base just as sort of almost like a miniature raised bed, just to keep the couple of shovels of compost from washing away. And I watered them early in the year, but then pretty much stopped and just let nature do its thing. And obviously they're doing wonderfully. And but once I harvest these, I will have literally hundreds and hundreds of seeds here to plant more for next year, or to give out to a few of my friends and family. So anyway, that is the update on how my gourds are doing, growing 6 feet tall, dangling from the trees in front of my house here in suburban northeastern America. All right, all the best and happy gardening.